I think we're live, guys. Did the countdown work, or is it like a trick there?
No, it worked. We're live.
Worked?
We're live. There's
All
people
right,
and
we
stuff.
are live. So, hello everyone. Glad you guys are here. It looks like we have 61 early birds, 68 now. I'm sure it'll go up. And as you guys know, every other week we have a Monday coin, bill, silver, gold, you name it, chat. And typically, Silver Seeker, Ravenhawk Coins, and myself host, and we ask for guests if they wouldn't mind being on the Monday chats. Obviously, this week we have our Treasure Quest, JD and Company Chronicles. JD, thank you for blessing us with your presence, good sir.
It's my pleasure.
Now, for those of you who don't know, JD, obviously he had JD's Variety channel, recently did a live stream where he changed his name. Super excited about his name change. I know he is. Charlani is in love with your logo, by the way. She's actually trying to get me to do something similar. I'm like, listen, we're not going to do it. But that being said, good to have you. Seeker, got anything you want to add as well?
I just wanted to point out how nervous JD looks right now.
Nervous?
You look very nervous, man. Like you're like ghost white and a little shaky. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, just trying to feel out the field. This is the first time I've done like a multi-stream with multiple people on it. So it's like, this is kind of cool. A lot going on.
I don't know if you've ever watched them before, but generally we sit around and we razz the guest for a full hour.
Oh, great.
How about you, Raven?
I'm just glad to be here, having a good night. Good to see all the people in the room and have JD on the channel. And like Seeker, we get to bust his chops for a little while. You know, you never know what's going to happen. Nah, man, we have a great time, and I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Yeah, and I guess I'll address the elephant in the room for those wondering. After Friday's skunk stream, I did vow that I would trim the beard, and I took 5 inches off the beard. It is... I told everyone before the stream started that I feel fast. Like right now, I probably need to get a clock and see how fast I can run a 40 because it might be my quickest time ever. I just feel quick. Feel quick.
Well, why do you feel quick?
Because I don't know. I just like the wind hits my face and I can feel the wind on my neck and my cheeks. I'm like, I just feel like if I ran, the wind would be flying by me like a lot.
So
Jason Shat, Seeker, JD's beard is still beating yours.
That's awesome.
I was very, very happy to shave this morning. I'll be honest. Felt good. Felt good.
Nice. That was classic. Kudos to Jason Shat for that one, guys.
That was savage.
Heck yeah. And as you guys know, how we do this, if you don't know, is typically I scan the comments looking for questions that you may have. I know we've been answering lots of questions, but there's always new viewers. If you have any, even metal detecting, we got JD in here as well. So if there's metal detectors out there that have questions that maybe we haven't answered on previous streams or JD may have not answered before, you can ask those. I'll pin them as I can, and definitely we'll show them on the screen.
Oh, I like what Nagy said.
That's ridiculous.
That's funny.
I'm getting a lot of beard comments right now. The beard looks sharp, Rob.
He does. It's a glam shot.
That's awesome. What's this? We got Hayden Logan. I've actually only been on one of these streams before. Well, Hayden, thank you for joining a second one. Glad to have you here.
What's up, Hayden? How are you? All right. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think what we'll do is I want to know a little bit more, JD. You know, what's in the hopper over the next couple of weeks? Anything that you're planning on, obviously without letting the cat out of the bag, but do you have anything coming up over the next couple of weeks that you'd like to share?
Pretty much the changes with the channel that I've made. I'm keeping it treasure hunting themed. It's still going to focus mainly my main content around metal detecting, and I'm for the most part doing the coin roll hunting on the live streams. So I'm cutting out just the shorter videos and a lot of the random content. So I'm strictly, for the most part, making it treasure hunting themed. And yeah, I've actually got a lot of videos I got to edit. Some pretty cool stuff on the way. I actually found one of my rarest relics ever this year that I didn't post the video of yet. So
wow,
yeah, got some interesting stuff.
That's awesome.
How about Sappington's question, Seeker?
Any word on the Morgan and Peace Tellers? Asking for a friend. I actually haven't heard much on them. To be honest with you, I haven't really been following it because I'm really excited about it. I'm just trying to like stay calm and wait for him to come out. But I actually haven't heard anything at all.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know, but you Raven, heard anything yet?
Not yet, man. It seems to be the big secret out there, you know, but I'm sure the minute it comes out, there's going to be 6 or 7 channels with videos and we'll all know.
Hey,
now,
Rob,
we should be getting an email notification normally from the Mint, you know.
I was going to say there's a really good question from RT Sasser that would be great for JD to answer.
Cool.
RT Sasser?
Yep, it was right under Coin Crew Super Chat, like 2 under it.
I think I missed it.
I was waiting for Rob to pin it.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I see it now. Sorry.
Yeah, there it is.
How do people go and get permissions for metal detecting? Well, first of all, if you don't knock on the door, you're not going to get the permission. So I knock on the door, especially with the virus going around. I like to give people space so you don't feel like you're invading their privacy. You knock on the door, take a few big steps back. If they have steps, maybe step down a few so you don't look domineering, because you always want to be respectful if it's someone that's more timid. And I just say, I just try to keep it. First of all, one of the things I tell people, always don't second guess yourself. If you're going to pull in somebody's driveway or walk up to their house, you're committed at that point. Don't linger around. Don't walk slowly. Like once you get out of your car, go onto their property, go straight to the front door, because you don't want to look like you're like spying on them. So go right to the front door, knock on it. You know, I try to wear, I actually, I normally wear, my jeans are normally pretty dirty for metal detecting, but I try to wear a really nice bright shirt, so you're at least a little bit presentable. And I just tell them, what my name is. I say, hey, my name's Jonathan. I'm a history buff. I'm going around the neighborhood trying to get some permissions to do some metal detecting, to look for like old coins and relics and things like that. Is that something you might be open to? And then I wait for them to say something from there, and then I just try to strike up a conversation. Probably the biggest question I get asked is, should I offer the homeowner some of the fines, or should I offer them 50-50? My opinion is don't offer them anything unless they ask, because some people are interested. And if they are interested, I'd say just let the conversation happen organically. And you'll find there's a lot of nice people out there. And so I've had people that just say, yeah, go ahead and shut the door. And it's like, well, that's it. So you'd be surprised that if you just put a little time into it, you'll get some permissions.
Awesome, man. And then Jason had another one, which I thought was a good one. That's right there on the screen.
So he says, JD, how many times you get turned down from landowners before you get that one that'll let you?
Well, I haven't been doing a lot of door knocking lately, and especially kind of when the virus started, I wanted to just get a feel of, how people's attitudes might be changing. So I took a break for quite a while, and that's when I took a break from YouTube too, also last year, most of the year. But this year so far, I knocked on 2 doors and I got 2 yeses. So in my area, I would probably say on average though, it's probably 50-50. Sometimes I might even get a higher yes rate, but then you have days where you get a lot more no's. But averaging it out, I'm probably over 50% with the yeses when I knock on doors.
Wow. Well,
Wow,
I'm 0 for 18. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm 0 for 18 in Texas.
So the real moral of the story is don't take Rob door knocking with you.
Don't take me. I won't even. Yep. If I walk up to the door, there's already somebody there with a rifle saying, "Can I help you?"
Right.
Hey, Seeker, can you look at private chat for me real quick?
I will, and I want to say something publicly, guys. Oh wait, a dinging. Is anyone else hearing a dinging?
I'm not hearing anything.
No.
Okay, so it's just coming through on me again. This happened the other day with OBS and StreamYard. I don't know what it is, but it keeps showing old super chats.
Yeah, mine was doing that too.
Oh yeah, just turn it off. It's that's been happening for the last couple of weeks with Streamlabs. And guys, I want to say really quick, let the mods handle the trolls. There will be a few, obviously a few in here tonight. Just let the mods take care of it. Don't worry about it. The mods are
handling them. It's taking a couple seconds, but they're handling them.
Yeah, don't give them any attention because that's what they want. All right, so let's keep on going. So, JD, if you can see on the StreamYard screen when Rob pops up the message, it goes right below our 4 images.
Yep,
do you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't watch it on YouTube. Watch it on StreamYard because you see it in real time right there.
Yes.
Okay.
I got the ones that are pinned there.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure.
JD,
Right,
what would you do if the homeowner wanted to tag along on the metal detecting?
Pretty much like, well, it would depend on the attitude of the homeowner, but normally if somebody wants to tag along, it's already somebody who is, nice and you kind of build a little bit of a relationship with. So I would say go for it. I've actually at times kept a cheaper metal detector in my car. So if that happens, that they can look with me and I'll try to show them how to use it. And that's one of the tips. Make sure you have a cheaper detector because you don't want to have a $1,000 metal detector that you're giving to somebody to use for the first time in case they would break it. So that's my advice. Keep a spare one in your vehicle that's a cheaper entry-level metal detector, and you can teach homeowners how to use it if they're interested.
Nice.
I've done it.
That's a good one. I like that.
Seeker, Eric Hoffner.
Jan Bullion says they have plenty of inventory and back to fast shipping. What does that mean? Probably means that the silver squeeze is not going as well as people over on Reddit want it to go. I mean, eventually they were going to catch up. Now, will the premiums come down as a result? I have no idea if the premiums are coming down anytime soon, but clearly we're starting to see them ease up a little bit. If you guys haven't noticed, I actually did a video on it last week. They are starting to ease up. If more websites like JM Bullion start posting that they have plenty of inventory and they're back to quick shipping, then I imagine that's probably a chime in for premiums coming down pretty soon, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's nice, and you guys know how it is. It's all speculative. It goes up and down, and we need the prices down for at least a little bit so we can get more into our stacks.
That's right. I've never had silver before. Is it a cool metal? I don't know.
Oh, dude, you gotta check it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the cool guys are collecting it. Matter of fact, if you're lucky, you can get something like this.
Oh man,
that is beautiful. I love that gavel.
6.5 ounces.
Brooklyn, when I finally fill the Nickel Hunt and Album Fill album, assuming that I can do that, I haven't quite decided how I was going to handle it, but I won't be keeping it for sure. So whether it's auctioned or whether it's used as a giveaway, I don't know. I already have an entire Jefferson nickel collection in an album, and I have a second nickel collection that is not in an album. It's in rolls. So I'm not quite sure yet, but it will not be kept by me for sure. If I do something with it, I will obviously sign the album. I will put a custom sticker on the front that says Nickel Hunt and Fill album series, and I'll even date that the first episode to the last. So if anyone ever does have that in their possession, they'll know they have a video log of each of those coins being placed in the album. So I'll figure something out, but I'm not sure yet.
Awesome. RT Saster asked, he says, Silver Seeker, do you know any websites that sell silver for spot? No, even in normal times when, you know, all the pressures and on the physical silver, websites just can't sell for silver for spot. They have overhead. That's just, you know, I actually have a video coming out tomorrow, I'll be honest with you, that's quite literally going over that specific topic and a couple of other things as well. But I mean, they have overhead. They cannot sell silver for spot because they have employees to play. They have employees to pay. They have themselves to pay. They obviously have the cost of wherever they're, you know, storing their silver or working out of. I mean, there's a lot of overhead into physical. It's not like paper silver. There's very little overhead in paper silver, but physical, unfortunately, there's overhead. So you know, there's nowhere that's going to sell it for spot.
And they'd like to retire someday.
Right.
Do you think the virtual market will ever catch up to the physical market, Seeker?
Like, what do you mean by the virtual market? I'm confused.
I'm just
like,
talking about paper versus physical.
No. I mean, that goes hand in hand with what I just said. I mean, paper silver is easy to trade, and as a result, there's always going to be a small or little to no premium on it at all. Well, no premium. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's no overhead with paper trading. So you can buy and sell it on the COMEX all day, and you don't have to store it. You don't have to have a place to store it. You don't have to take delivery. You don't have to pay for shipping. So, of course, there's always the physical silver is always going to cost more than what you can get on COMEX in paper contracts. But at the same time, those contracts are 5,000 ounces of silver. I don't know about you, but I can't buy a 5,000 ounce silver contract today.
No.
So you got to have deep pockets.
Aaron Belknap, please explain the silver thing. Face value plus this plus that. My local coin store is 13 spot or something. I don't think your local coin store is at 13 times spot. But typically, you got to remember that constitutional silver has 90% silver, 10% copper. So there's formulas involved, but at the end of the day, if you take what the melt value is of a 90% silver coin, that is the base spot price. Typically right now with the spot price of silver, you're going to pay about 20 to 22 times face generally for just common 90% constitutional silver. If you can get it less than 20, I say buy it now. And if you're going to get it for more than 22, that's something you've got to consider if you need it for your collection or not.
Good answer.
I don't know if I could add something more there. Seeker at all?
No, I mean, you answered that pretty much straight up. I mean, the math is actually really simple. It's funny. I get comments on my channel when I'm talking about Constitutional all the time. There was specifically one guy on my channel who was making a comment of, oh, no one's ever going to use silver for trade, Constitutional silver, because you'd have to have a mathematician and I forget what he said. You'd have to have a mathematician and something else at every single register. Oh, a chemist to test it all. I'm like, dude. No, it's super simple math. Like, quite literally, guys, if you want to know how easy it is, if you grab a calculator and you take whatever spot is and multiply that number times 0.715, that is what $1 of silver melts for. $1 of face value, 90% of dimes, quarters, and halves. Yep. It's simple math. Like, you do not need a mathematician for that.
Yeah, and another way to look at it is, other than Morgan and Peace dollars, because they have premiums, every $1.40 in constitutional silver is about 1 ounce of silver.
Well, plus Morgan dollars have more silver in them per dollar as well.
No, I know. So okay. The premium and plus they have more, but anything under that, $1.40 and 90% is an ounce of silver. So you just got to kind of obviously there's wear on older coinage, but then older coinage commands a premium as well. You're not going to get barbers typically at 20 times face. Typically,
no, unless they're so slick that it's not worth it.
Correct. Right. You're going to get Washingtons and you're going to get Rosies and you're going to get things like that at 20 times face or 22 times face.
Right.
Yeah. It makes you miss the days of not too long ago where it was 13 times face.
I know. Wolfie,
and we were complaining about paying those prices.
To be fair, I was not complaining. You guys may have been, but I was not. I knew better.
I still have a little bit of silver I took a loss on. I kept a little bit from when the prices were like a decade ago when the prices were like $43 an ounce.
All you have to do with that, JD, is cost average that out. So,
it's not a lot, but actually like the harder to sell stuff, I kept a little container of like war nickels that I had when they were, when it was like $40 an ounce and I never sold.
Yeah.
So Wolfie, I mean, everyone's going to have their different thoughts. Listen, I'm a Garrett guy. I've been a Garrett guy since 2001. That's what I like. So for me, if being a Garrett guy, I can understand the tones. I can read the ground better. For me, if I was a beginner metal detector, the most important thing is you got to realize you're going to dig a lot of trash. You got to factor in your age, the weight of the machine. There's so many factors. And what are you going to be digging? If you're just going to be digging schools and parks, you don't need something really high technology. At the end of the day, you're going to be up and down a lot. You're going to be swinging a lot. You're going to be digging a lot of trash. You may not even like it. If you're a first-time detector, I would say like a Garrett Ace 250, 300, 350 is probably a good starting detector for someone who's a Garrett person. But I'm sure someone like JD probably would have something that he would recommend, like a White's or a Fisher or something else.
Yeah, one of my favorite beginner ones is the Fisher F22, but I pretty much say this to beginners. First of all, get what you like, but stick to the name brands. That way, if you want to upgrade, you're going to be able to resell it without losing a lot of the money you put into a brand new one. Or consider finding a reputable seller on eBay and even trying out like a lightly used one. You can normally get them for a pretty good discount, but that's what I would say. Try to stay away from the Radio Shack brands and these obscure brands that, you're not going to have good resale value and they're not going to work very well. The worst thing you can do is get a $90 metal detector that doesn't work and it's going to turn you off the hobby because you're frustrated. So It's actually worth spending an extra $100 up front and you're going to have a lot easier time learning.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
I would say, and learning, there's a lot of people that are professionals that can tell a target by the way that the depth is. They can pinpoint it. If your metal detector does not have a pinpointing feature and you don't even have even a $40 pinpointer, if you don't have those things, you are going to be chasing and digging dirt for its circles until you start learning your machine. So as a beginner,
Right.
Make sure there's a pinpoint feature. And honestly, the first thing I've ever done on anyone I've ever shown how to metal detect is I've taken clad and silver coins with us, and I put them on the surface, and then I've dug a small hole and put them about 4 inches down and had them swing over it until they got used to the size of a target, how it sounds, and what they're digging. It will minimize digging so much BS. I mean, you're still going to dig a lot of trash, but it will minimize some of it.
Right, but you want to at least get rid of the iron in the steel and that type of stuff, because if there's so many nails in the ground, there are billions of nails in the ground. And, so there's a lot of iron in the ground. So as long as you learn how to discriminate that out, and you're going to have a much better time. So most metal detectors that are, about $200 and above, you're not going to have an issue with that.
I'm going to hit one that Damien's asked a couple times. He said, are 40% in war nickels also considered constitutional? Not really. I mean, constitutional, whenever you hear someone talk about constitutional, they're always talking about 90%. So I don't refer to either of those as constitutional silver at all. Actually, that's ironically the video that I already have uploaded that's being launched tomorrow morning also touches on that. It's very odd. That's like 2 questions that's answered in that video tomorrow.
That being said, you can buy war nickels and 40%ers at pretty much melt in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So if you are just stacking silver, you're not going to pay typically almost any markup on 40%ers and war nickels in just coal or regular circulated condition. So if you want to just stack some silver, they're not bad to have. And by the way, I love rolls of war nickels, so I'm a little partial to them.
Keep this in mind, though. When you're buying war nickels, you cannot resell those to any shop for anywhere close to melt.
Correct.
Even some of the best shops that buy war nickels sometimes only pay 65-70%.
Well, just like if you spend 22 times face, you're not going to sell it to a shop for 22 times face either, though.
Right. But I'm saying you won't even get close to melt. Like, it's not even close. So I'm just letting you know that.
Right.
So when you're stacking war nickels and you're looking at, well, I'll at least get melt back out of it, that's just not the case.
Yeah, not as liquid.
Right.
If you're selling to a retailer, correct. But if you're turning them on when silver goes up and you want to move on rolls of war nickels on an auction or an eBay, you're going to get your money back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I specifically said to shops. Like if you're selling them back to shops.
No, Seeker, you're going to get. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just playing.
Something to add to what JD was saying about the metal detecting stuff, and he had great advice. You definitely want to save your money, get a name brand, pay a little bit more, but also make sure to pay attention to get the other supplies you need. Your little shovel, your little pick, a pinpointer is key. I've seen people mess up with the loop, the coil, and then still be able to find it with one of those carrots. Those carrots are really cool.
I do want to say, though, and I'm sure JD has thoughts as well, but at the end of the day, if you're a brand new metal detectorist with your brand new metal detector and you've not put any hours behind it, stick to the parks and the schools if possible, because if you start door knocking and tearing up yards, not only will you eliminate a chance of other people being able to dig in your neighborhood, you're probably going to get that reputation of not being allowed to dig in the neighborhood too much. So stick to the parks, stick to the parks and the schools as much as, not that you should tear that ground up either, but learn how to dig good plugs before you start door knocking for sure.
If you can, start in your own yard, if possible. Unless you live in an apartment, you're going to start at a park or a school or something. But if you can, practice in your own yard, even bury a few coins. It'll really help.
Yeah, and people like the respect of when you put in a proper plug back. Then nobody likes seeing holes. And
the only other thing I would add to that is for a newbie, because I've known some people that are just oblivious to this, don't dig private permissions or even at nice parks when it's super dry out. If it's super, super dry out, you will kill the grass.
I saw a question that you're probably not going to, it's probably already scrolled up. Coin Crew had asked if melting war nickels, if the magnesium inside of it is harmful. I actually don't know because I don't melt.
Well, magnesium.
It's like 9% manganese or something like that, right?
Yeah, magnesium's pretty flammable, man.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
I don't melt war nickels or 40% half dollars.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I have no idea.
Okay. No one knows.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, Rob, you remember? You ever used to go to the desert when you lived in California, and they'd put Volkswagen engine blocks and set them on fire because of the magnesium, and it would just be like daylight. Yeah.
Yep.
So that'd be kind of. I wonder if there's any weird reaction melting war nickels down.
Well, and I don't know. Manganese is different than magnesium, though. So
I thought. Oh man, I'm messing up.
It is manganese. Oh, see, you got me confused. Yeah, it's not magnesium, is it?
Yeah,
it's manganese. It's a word.
Coin Crew, you killed me there. he's trolling us. What the heck? No,
it's a word I can't pronounce. Apparently, I don't know.
He said magnesium in his writing, but yeah,
might have been auto corrected.
True.
I did see a question earlier, and I get asked this all the time, so I'm just going to address it. I keep every copper cent that I have. No, I don't melt my copper cents. First of all, it's illegal. And if you've ever watched Key and Peele, it's illegal. So you can't do that. And I have every copper cent. It's become an OCD thing, and my wife's getting mad at me. But I have every copper cent I've ever hunted through. I only hold on to copper because, like a fool, I hate taking back copper that I know is worth more than a cent and giving it back to the banks. I just sit on it. I don't mind losing $2.70 per box as a future investment in copper for me. That being said, Seeker, I can sell bags of copper cents for more than a penny each. So because of that, there's a marketability to them. I don't melt them.
So you're going to be.
Hold on. I want to ask this. But were you willing to lose your closet that one day?
Jeez, the boxes are no longer on top of shelves throughout the closet. They are stacked somewhere else.
I don't even know if JD and Raven knows what I'm talking about.
No.
But
I had 56 boxes of pennies come crashing down during a live stream, and my dog was going bonkers.
Dude, that would be gnarly.
There was a story in the news years back where somebody collected so many pennies they actually collapsed because they weren't in the basement. They collapsed into the basement.
Oh wow!
They had so many pennies, I think it was, saved up in their house. So I was going to say, you don't want to be that person.
Hey,
listen. I've thought about turning them all back in several times. I've thought about it several times. And it's not a lot of money in face value, even for 60 boxes. It really isn't. But I just can't seem to want to do it because I just can't. I want to keep the copper.
I can see during the apocalypse, Rob will be in his basement guarding his big stash of copper.
You know what? There was a question that flew by, but I also want to kind of add to this whole thing about melting copper, U.S. copper for one. And don't think you're going to be slick and get around it. There's a specific formula, and people have been caught many times, melting down a big chunk and thinking they can take it to the refineries. You're going to get caught.
You're going to get caught.
And then two, somebody asked if it is illegal to melt Canadian coins. Well, we're in the United States. It doesn't matter here.
It is illegal, but no one's going to come to my door if I melt Canadian cents. That being said, I have every Canadian cent I've ever found coin roll hunting as well.
You don't think the U.S. is going to
price is going up?
The price is going up.
Yeah, the value of Canadian coins and Canadian copper has really gone up because a lot of people did melt the Canadian pennies,
Wouldn't that be something someday if you try to fly to Canada and you're on a list because you melted Canadian coins and they won't let you in?
Yeah, that would be as soon as you
little picture
and they arrest you immediately.
Yeah,
they got Rob's emoji from Seeker's channel where his head's to the side, looking for this guy.
Matt, I only melt 3/9 fine silver for what I use for my pieces that I have on my streams and on my channel. But that being said, I'm not going to pretend that I've never melted 90% silver. I actually have a 15-ounce bar that was completely slicked out, almost undecipherable Merc Dimes, Walkers, and Benjis. They were completely, all you could tell was what the design was. You couldn't even get a date on them. So I did have a bunch that I had kept for years that I finally, a year and a half ago, melted into a 15-ounce bar. And let me tell you, it's not the prettiest bar. it needs to be refined. If I do anything with that bar, I'll probably just take it to a refiner and get a 3/9 bar made out of it. But I don't like melting history, but I promise you these coins were not even worth holding on to. They were thick or thin and slick and terrible and no value really other than the silver content.
Yeah, and you hit on something with that people don't realize when you go melting, 90% or trying to melt like sterling, there's a big process to draw that silver out actually, and it's harder to work with that stuff because the extra metals that are in it.
Hey, Rob, MTN Vaults had a question he kept asking for you. I'm sorry.
I'll let JD talk.
No, you're good. I was just going to say I have a fetish for the slick silver. I love the way it looks. Like, it has a lot of character. Actually, when I was younger, I used to collect the super slick silver. I just thought it was really cool. I don't know why, but.
Because so many people touched it.
Yeah, something about it.
You can melt silver, U.S. silver coins. You can melt U.S. silver coins. Matter of fact, a lot of dealers actually take their unsold constitutional or 40%ers or whatever, and they bring it into a refiner and get it melted down. So you can do that. That's not illegal. So you can melt U.S. silver. You cannot, and again, someone's going to say, Robbie, you can melt copper. You just can't use it or you can't resell it. Well, you can't melt U.S. copper cents and you can't melt U.S. nickels. But if they're war nickels or constitutional or 40%, you are allowed to. There's no laws against you melting them.
I did notice too, every time that there's a spike in the silver price, I think more collectible coins get melted too. And a lot of people don't realize, they don't expect silver to ever drop again, and for it to then the numismatic value will outweigh the silver value again. And I've noticed that happens a lot. Like over the years, people that have melted, like all different coins, like the mercury dimes and stuff. Like, when silver was $50 an ounce, people were melting all kinds of stuff.
That's true.
And that's why, if you're going to buy silver, one of my biggest tips for everyone is 90% silver. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can buy, but mercury dimes are one of the best, because if you get a big bag of mercury dimes, you're going to pull out some coins that are worth a few bucks a piece, like, that are worth, $4 or $5 worth more than, worth more than the silver value of them. And so the mercury dimes are actually a good way to hedge your investment. If the silver price comes back down, then you still have some numismatic value. In the same way with some of the other popular silver coins. But I noticed over the years, mercury dimes seem to hold their value really well.
Merc's still okay, but the problem with Mercs is there's only really a couple of years that matter. Like, unless they're AU plus.
Yeah, but Seeker, and you're right, but I have found when I bought big bulk lots of Merc dimes or Rosies, you're going to get that occasional better dime or two, or a
right.
Or if you buy Rosies, you might get some mixed in BU ones in some of those lots sometimes.
Right, and that's a volume game. I've actually even found 1921 key date mercury dimes in app. It can happen. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, JW found a 21 dime in an Amex bulk buy.
No, I didn't say it wouldn't happen. I just said there's only a couple of dates, so it's hard to find them, is what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're not going to get one every time you're buying them, for sure.
Hey, there was a question just a second ago from Villain Stacker. Do you see that right below AG47 about the Meteorite? Says, How do you guys prefer stacking gold? That's a pretty good question. So, in my mind, if you're stacking gold, when you're buying by grams and 10th ounces, you're paying a lot more premium, and you're going to spend a lot more money. If you can afford it, buy an ounce or so at a time, to help save.
Yes, that's correct. 1 ounce bullion absolutely has a lower premium. The only thing is like a lot of people can't afford 1 ounce of gold, so that's why you get into the fractional. Now, the good news is that the 1 gram bars have been selling on the aftermarket. Like, even right now, as the premiums are coming down, they're still going for like 75, which is way over melt. Like, it's $14 or $15 per gram over melt, which it equates to almost $500 an ounce over melt. So you can resell those and get some of that premium back. But Raven's 100% right. If you're just stacking gold because you think the price of gold is going to go up, then obviously you want to buy it as close to spot as you can, and 1 ounces are far and away the way to go. I would just stay away from bars. So go with Maples, Cougarans, Silver Eagles, even Philharmonics are fine, although I'll be honest with you, Philharmonics are a lot harder to sell. But stick with actual government minted or government issued coins. Is Mrs. Seeker up buying rabbits? Little Seeker got her new bunny rabbit today. And by the way, anyone that's here that was on the stream Saturday, thank you again. We'll have a video out on my fun channel in a few days.
Is it a mini lop?
It is a mini lop. It's a black and white. It's a black and white mini lop.
Yeah, I had a black and white mini lop when I was growing up too.
Yeah,
I had a rabbit growing up. They're cool animals, you know.
Yeah.
Did you get your hutch and everything?
Yeah, she bought all sorts of stuff for it. The stream was donating money to her bunny fund, and she, because of that, again, thank you guys. She was able to buy a cage and a playpen area and hay and all sorts of stuff, and then we adopted one from a pet rescue today.
Nice. Has anyone found a meteorite when hunting? I've never confirmed found a meteorite. I have found hot rocks, and I have found ones that would stick to a magnet, but I've never got it authenticated whether or not it was a meteorite personally.
Yeah, I found some weird hot rocks and lumps of coal, but I can definitely not confirm that one of them was a meteorite.
I have found a meteorite when opening up an eBay mystery pack. No, seriously, remember that, Rob? The one we did together with Silver Picker. Remember, we both got meteorites.
I remember watching that video.
Meteorites are cool. Meteorites are cool.
And they're worth a lot. I mean, you find legitimate meteorites. It's amazing what they can be worth. Guys, it says here, phenotypical. How do you guys react to Loomis and the other major sorting houses confirming that they are converting their machines to sort silver as it becomes viable for them? Loomis confirmed 25%, Coinstar 80%.
Sorry, I was typing something.
Well, until that is actually 100% confirmed, whereas I know that I'm not going to find any more silver in a Loomis box. I just don't understand the initial investment on their machines.
Those are insanely high.
Coinstar, I could see they could just adjust the weight of it, the calibration. But for all the Coinstar will do then is also be paying for stuff like tokens. They don't understand. When they do that, they're probably going to end up paying for other things that have heavier weights or different weights when they adjust their calibration. But as far as Loomis getting converting their machines, they can do that all they want. Their money is not made in the silver that goes through their machines. Their money is made in the process of bagging it or boxing it and redistributing it. That's what they get paid by.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I just personally, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I just can't see them doing that.
I'm just going to say I'm glad I don't hunt Loomis boxes and go with that.
Same here.
No, the price of those machines is something ridiculous. To recover the overhead investment into that, I don't know. I would see if they had the technology to do it, way back when silver was super abundant,
FLT
but
Thunder
nowadays
Diggin.
It's kind of hit and miss.
FL Thunder Diggin's dead on. Actually, Coinstars reject silver.
Yeah.
So, but a few years back, I hunted. Now, I come to think of it, may not have been an actual Coinstar. It may have been an off-brand. But I actually had I went to where Coinstar was and got a bag of quarters out of their stupid machine and found 2 silver quarters in that thing. Like they sold me a full bag, and I went through it and found 2 silver quarters.
I have been told for 3 straight years, and even before then, that all it takes is a few people that haven't had silver like myself for several boxes. You start feeling like, oh, they're pulling it out. Listen, silver's been pulled out of circulation forever. We're only getting what someone else is redepositing now. So I highly doubt Loomis or Brinks or Garda or whoever it is, and of String and Sons, I highly doubt any one of them gives 2 bits about that 1 silver every 4 or 5 boxes and the occasional big score. They're not. I don't think they're going to do it. If someone says they confirm that 25% of their machines are already switched out, show me that article, because I've been hearing about them doing this for a decade probably.
I haven't heard anything like that.
With so many people hunting $half now, I've almost wondered, is there like this demand that they don't know where it's coming from, and they actually think there's a commercial demand for these $half, but yet it's all these coin roll hunters that are ordering these boxes. It's just kind of weird to me that in circulation almost nobody uses $half, but yet all of these companies are still supplying them. You know what I mean? The banks can order them. It's almost weird. I almost feel like the coin roll hunters are creating like I don't want to say a fake demand, but like I wonder if they're thinking like, oh, it's like a commercial demand or something.
I think JD, I think you really hit on something, because it's going up exponentially, the amount of people hunting, to the point where Rob and I have experienced this, where you go to your own bank and they're like, hey, somebody basically threw you under the bus, and we got to change the way that we do things. And they do it as a favor to most people. Even if you have a business account, they can tell you no on the halves. The rest of the stuff they have to give you, because that's regular circulated currency. They cannot deny you pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. When it comes to half dollars, I've had banks straight up say, no, we don't care how much money you have, and then other banks are like, yeah, sure, no problem. It's developing those relationships, which we've talked about, till we're blue in our face,
MTN, it's not illegal to melt down war nickels, only the non-war nickel years. You cannot melt U.S. nickels other than the war nickels for the silver, because the other ones are made out of nickel. It's toxic. Nickel's
gnarly. Yeah.
Nickel will kill you quickly. If you're melting nickels down and you don't have a respirator and a lot of ventilation and probably even a fume hood, you can kiss yourself goodbye. If not today, a slow poisoning death over the next several years. Don't touch nickel. Don't even touch it. Not even worth it. And even brass can get you pretty good. So technically, if you're melting, stick with the easy stuff like copper and 3/9 fine silver. Just be honest.
And even with silver and stuff, you need to have good ventilation, because if you're pouring it in that sand, you're burning the sand, and those
sand
things
has oils in it.
Yep. And so you got to be really cognizant of that, guys. Make sure you have a respirator no matter what, is my opinion, honestly.
Yeah, it's not like metal detecting or coin roll hunting. When you start getting into that, you gotta know what you're doing, or you could make a bad mistake.
Yeah.
And you might not even know you've slowly poisoned yourself with zinc oxide. Even melting pennies. Let's face it, if you're someone out there playing around with some zinc pennies, that is zinc oxide will attack your nervous system and destroy you over time. So just be safe. Do your homework and don't melt things that are toxic.
I don't melt anything, so I don't have to worry about that.
Come on, Seeker.
Oh, wow. Smoky Devil said that he got metal fever from melting brass.
Brass will give you metal fever. Yeah, big time.
So casinos still use halves when I play tables and get paid in halves all the time. If I win, has a 50 cent on it. What casinos still use coins?
There's ones in like Oklahoma and different ones that they have and I only know this because of having experience in the industry. You have to basically, they get a 50 cent bet that goes to the house each time. Right. Are you messing with me?
No.
No, I'm pinning silly comments for fun while you're talking.
I saw Seeker start getting like, what?
No, I laughed at that comment.
No, it's all good. But yeah, they do use them in casinos, guys. It's kind of weird.
Is it better to stack gold bullion or buy actual? I say
coins.
Buy actual gold coins. Yes.
Yeah.
Gold coins.
I actually own 0 gold bullion, and I have some gold coins. Obviously, nothing great because they're expensive. But honestly, those gold coins are only getting older. Gold's only getting better. And there's not only the gold value, there's the numismatic value in it. To me, gold coins all day for me.
Yeah, definitely. Especially U.S. gold coins have a good demand. You won't have a problem, turning them over if something happens. You got to flip them real fast.
No problem. And even dealers that I've dealt with will pay you a lot more for your gold coins than your gold bullion all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you're not even going to take a hit that much on your gold coins because the dealers know they can sell them quickly as well, or at least the ones I've dealt with.
No, that's actually pretty industry standard. Like gold, you can sell and buy it really close to that same number.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I've actually sold gold coins, for $20 or $30 more than I could just turn around and rebuy it for. Like that, $20 or $30 may seem a lot for like a 1 ounce silver, but for a $2,000 gold coin, that's nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing at all.
Right.
I got to answer this because I do plan on doing some metal detecting. I actually have brand new batteries. I've tested out my AT Pro and my AT Max. They're sitting there. I even have them in the bag, broken apart. The coils are all together. The pinpointers, fresh batteries. It's literally all I got to do is throw the bag over my shoulder and drive somewhere.
You know how long you've been saying that now, Rob?
I know.
Joseph Pitch says, Rob, you need to do a gold eagle hunt.
I can't afford to do a gold eagle hunt.
You know, I did actually, about 2 years ago, I hunted a full roll of 10th ounce gold eagles on my channel.
He's got a gold-plated Lamborghini, so he can do
Yes.
that.
Oh, please.
His gold-plated car that he doesn't admit to.
Whatever.
We know what's up.
Oh, shoot. Keep going.
Yeah, it's funny.
Sorry, go ahead, Raven.
Oh, I was going to say there was actually a really good comment up here about the process of melting 10K and 14K gold by Brooklyn Graham. Says, I've been watching these videos where they smelt gold like 10K, 14K, etc. And the process is frightening. Nitric acid, hydrochloric acid. Yikes. Yeah, guys, be careful.
Yeah.
I know almost nothing about chemistry and all that stuff, so I stay away from it.
Yeah, you can watch S3 Tips on YouTube, and he'll show you what he has, and he knows a lot about it, and even he warns people every video, this is not as simple as it looks.
Right.
I posted that video. Don't make fun of the quality. That video is like 2 years old. Old videos embarrass me because they're so horrible.
I have no problem turning in uncirculated boxes. I spread it out. So if I get an uncirculated nickel box that I don't want to hunt or that I don't think has value, the next time I go to another bank that I didn't pick it up from, I would just ask them, hey, if they're going to fulfill my nickel order, I say, if a bank tells me this, Rob, we didn't get your nickels this week, we only have a couple boxes, then it's a perfect time for me to say, I'll tell you what, you guys know I have my channel. I can't hunt brand new nickels. I have a whole bank sealed box of brand new nickels. How about I just swap it with one of yours? And 9 times out of 10, they're totally cool with that. That's how I do it.
And I know that like the banks and businesses too, they like cleaner coins and stuff like that. So like if you tell them you'll give them a brand new box to get rid of their cruddy ones, they're normally going to say yes.
Normally they're going to say yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really want to make it a fun hunt, tell them that you'll take all of their customer wrapped rolls in place of your brand new ones. And it gets rid of them being ever short or whatever, or having oddities. They usually will do it. If someone says I have $100 in customer wrap rolls, I'll be like, well, I'll give you $100 in bank wrap ones I don't need. I mean, it's easy to do. Yeah,
and honestly, a lot of banks are just really lazy, I guess, because long time ago, when I used to work retail, a lot of the banks, they would just take the customer's word for it. They never counted their customer wrapped rolls. So they would give them out to the local businesses, and they were short all the time.
Yep.
It's ridiculous that they're a bank. They weren't even verifying a lot of the coins that they would get in the customer wrapped rolls.
Yeah, I've even had customer wrap rolls where, there was 3 or 4 extra nickels. You're going, how are you not tracking? That's money. So yeah, you gotta.
Or you get the customer wrap ones that nobody can tell the black dime. Everybody thinks the dark dimes are pennies. You get the penny roll with the black dimes in them. Like,
you broke up there, JD, so we missed the last part.
I was just saying with you'll find black dimes in the penny rolls because most people can't tell the difference in the customer wrapped ones.
Yeah, because you were like this. Guys, if I told you anything, you must do this. And that should help a lot.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
JD, Michael, I had dreams of grandeur, and then I went out and dug hundreds of pounds of Canslaw.
Exactly. That's how it works. You're like, here, I'm going to go out and get treasure, and then you come home with this pile full of trash.
Yeah, you're cleaning up you're cleaning up the earth one pile of trash at a time.
That's it. I just love being outside. If you look at it that way, then eventually you stick at it, you will find good stuff.
Take care, Coin Crew.
Yep. Have a good one, Coin Crew. What's up? There we go. Any of the banks you deliver to, those machines just toss the coins when delivering them. When I bring the coins back to the bank, yes. I quite literally hand the bags to the bank, and then I just go sit on my lazy butt and play with my phone for 10 minutes while they count them up for me. So it's not one of the. I probably wouldn't even use the ones that are just in the lobby because I've had so many issues with those. But I found a dump bank that has one of those big industrial ones behind the teller station. So I just hand them the bags and I wait. And they tell me
I wish I could do that. I have to hand them my business bank bags full of coins, and then it's 7 to 10 days before I get my credit. So I'm constantly, whatever I hunted over 7 days, whatever I hunted that entire week, I'm out that, and then I bought everything for the next week. So I'm always 2 weeks in the red zone of coins being waited for deposit, plus what I have that I'm currently going to hunt.
That's the same for me because mine go into bags and they ship them off to like the main branch.
Yep, mine too.
That's the same way for me.
Yeah, same. And I've actually had it where they've made a mistake and you have to argue with them about it too. And then later, oh, well, we found your bag under this other thing. So
see, I've worried about that too sometimes. Like you give them the bag with a deposit slip. What happens if they say there's like, $300 less in there than is in there? Like I've always wondered about it, but I haven't had any issues yet.
Yeah, and then for the fortunate thing is the way that they do their auditing. Eventually, they're going to find it, but they'll take your not give you your credit, of course, because it's not matching your slip, and that can be frustrating. Waiting 7 days or so while they're counting your coins, because we've had the same thing here.
Yeah. What's your favorite place to detect, JD? Park, beach, backyards, war sites, what? I think war sites, if you could get on them, but I've never known people to be able to get on them unless they're famous.
Well, I mean, I can answer that one pretty easily. I like anything that I can isolate to a very specific story. So for me, I like looking around old houses or any building that even if it burned down, anything that you can specifically date or find out who lived there or know the history of it. I like finding stuff that's not like random, like you don't know where it came from, like a park or a school. Most of the time, you don't know who dropped it. There's not a lot. I like finding anything in context. So normally old houses is where it kind of tells the most coherent story. So I love looking around old houses.
Yeah. Raven, do you think the numismatic value of coins will ever become null and void?
Here's the thing. The only way that actually happens is if you have just a complete, economic meltdown, collapse of, governments and everything. It wouldn't make sense for $1 million coins and whatnot to lose their value, to be honest.
I mean, it kind of happened to stamps though, but
stamps, but
no coins. I agree with what you said. I was kind of being stupid. Sorry.
That's all good, man. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I love coins the way they are. You have the history, you have what JD touched on with stories, because I always imagine, what bought this? How many times has it changed somebody's lives for something simple, just as a couple coins?
Right.
JD?
Have I ever thought of doing a group event? I have thought about it before, but it is a lot of work, and I will just say probably not in the near future, but I will not rule it out. There could be a time that happens, but not in the near future. But if I do, everybody will know about it. I will definitely announce it on the channel.
Awesome.
That'd be cool to see.
What else you got, Rob? We're waiting for you to pick these questions up.
They're hard to pick. I didn't set it on
slow chat.
So
yeah, that chat's flying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Seeker.
No, I was just gonna say we love you, Rob. It's cool.
I know, whatever. I'm just trying to. I can pin stuff like Big Big Silver Stacker. After 2 months of nada, he finally found an almost BU Benji today. What a great feeling!
Nice. That's when you do this. You're like, yeah.
Running Eagle, my neck is a little bit less warm than it used to be, for sure.
I keep my neck nice and warm with my neck beard.
Brooklyn Graham makes a point here that JD could touch on.
I think that a lot of metal detecting channels do the hobby a disservice by not showing the junk with the treasure. There's 10 times as much junk as goodies. What do you guys think?
I think what she means by that, before you answer it, is people will be, they'll try and get into it because they get excited, and then when they start doing it, they just find junk.
Yeah, I got you. My opinion on that is, first of all, YouTube, there's a lot of different styles of what people are trying to do. So if they're not intentionally trying to be dishonest, I don't have an issue about it. There are some channels that only like to focus on the better things. As long as they're not trying to purposefully misrepresent it, I don't have an issue with it. But I mean, I personally do more long format videos and show more of the junk. And I know people like that because it keeps it a little bit more honest. But I do get what you're saying, because there are some people that curate it so much that they lead people to believe that they're, only finding good things. And yeah, I don't care for that either.
Right.
Hey, Rob, Phenotypical put out something you should, yep. I'm down.
You've got 150 acres from the early 1700s. You're all invited to come to Tech. It's a perfect location with very nice finds. Well, I guess let me know what state it's in, and if it's a place that I could travel to, it would be something that I would probably, A, thank you for the offer, and B, consider talking through email and getting to know more about it before I can commit to something like that for sure.
That would be cool, though. That would be cool.
Yeah, be fun. if it actually works out, that'd be a lot of fun. Hey, Jason, thank you for being here. Everybody that comes to these, it's really cool, and we have a lot of fun doing this with you guys. You get to see a different side of the guest and, Rob and Seeker and my ugly mug, because I never show my face usually.
Mudhunter, I'm still waiting to hear back from Plugmaster. Jeff's been really busy with some of the things, and as you know, he launched his Patriot coin store, and he's been really busy with that. So whenever he gets a chance, we had a scheduled trip, but the last two times he scheduled it, it was once during my wife and I's anniversary. That probably wouldn't go good. And then we talked about doing one during another time, but it was my wife's birthday. So it's just been unfortunate the last few times, but hopefully soon.
Okay. What's up, I-90 Coins? He says, glad to finally make a stream. And guys, if we ever have any silent, it's not that we're not talking, it's that we're reading the chat to find questions. So if there's any dead zones, that's why. Just so you guys know.
Victor Galvan.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Victor.
Thank you, brother.
Victor.
Man, go ahead.
Look at that. So, Force Suit Magic. I'm 13 and I like coin roll hunting, but I'm not sure whether or not to keep the 2018 half dollars. In my opinion, I don't keep the 2018s. There's so many of them in circulation for some reason. But, they are still technically an NIFC. It's kind of personal choice.
There you go. Another $1 from Rick Howe. Let's go.
Woohoo!
Oh, Rob, it's 7:58.
Yeah, someone asked earlier where Shalani is. She's actually at my daughter's salon getting her hair done, so she's left me and Kai, the boys, home alone.
Nice.
Ravenhawk Coins.
Can we expect...
What can we expect?
Stock price in the future? Hopefully it goes up, man. I love their stuff. These are the best pretzels I've ever eaten in my life.
I've never tried them. I got to get them now.
And they make candy bars.
Dude, I'm going to straight up reach out to the company and tell them to owe you some money.
Bro, what's funny is I'd appreciate it if you did, because there's people that are truckers, like Trucking for Silver. He's hunted them down in multiple places. You can find them where?
I can't find the red one.
Oh yeah, in our town, you can't find these right now because people got word out. There's a little kid. Miss Raven was at the grocery store, and the kid was like, "There's this guy on YouTube, and he does the Suzuki, and he's like trying to mimic me and stuff, and the cutest thing ever." And I said, "Why didn't you tell the kid that who you were?" She's like, "Well, I shop here, and I don't really want to." I was like, nobody's gonna mess with you. We live in a small town; it's different, But it was the cutest thing to hear that story, and yeah, guys, Dots better give me some stock. What are you laughing about there, Seeker?
I'm sorry. So I have the StreamYard screen up here, which we can see in real time, but obviously there's a delay over on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So while you were just, talking nonchalantly, you started doing this, and it was just silent. It looked like you were spazzing. So anyway, I just lost it because it literally looked like
I look like I'm having a seizure. I'm just like,
right, because there's no sound and just you doing this. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway.
I have to try some of those Dots pretzels. I have not tried them, but they look good though.
Yeah, I haven't tried them either.
Here's the thing. I wasn't a pretzel fan until them. I would kind of once in a while, you have pretzels with some beer or something, but these things are addicting, guys.
Being a celebrity's tough, Raven.
I've always liked pretzels. Especially, nice. I like the peanut butter filled pretzels.
Oh, yummy.
Those aren't bad. I'm not saying that I wasn't. Here's the thing. It turned me from liking them to being kind of over the top with it. I mean, honestly, I don't shut up about the Dots.
And the yogurt covered pretzels, once in a while, I get a hankering for those.
We'll take a couple of more questions. It's 8:00, so we'll kind of wrap up. But I do want to. Riley's asked a few times. Yeah, Riley. On the Alaska State Quarter, there is a variety that is known as the extra claws. Bottom line is there's some die chips strategically placed near the bear's claw facing down where it looks like there's an extra finger. It's just the shape of the die chip, but it's called the extra claw. There's a lot of varieties in the State Quarter series. With as many quarters as they've minted, you're going to have different varieties. But yeah, I've heard of them, and they do have some value. If you find one, keep a hold of it, for sure.
Dale, the Dots Cheetos are good. They're different though. They have kind of a jalapeno with a green chili almost to it. It's pretty good stuff.
A foot says dots dipped in peanut butter are insane.
Yeah,
that would sound good.
Seeker, you think the gold premiums will ever go up?
I hope not. Like, why would you want them to?
Why would you want them to?
But I mean, the premiums on gold are up. I mean, the 1 ounce premiums aren't up too much, but they're up from where they used to be. Like, I used to be able to buy 1 ounce golds for 70, 75, and now they're like 125, 130. So they are up. They're just not up as much as silver are. And if you look at 10th ounce eagles, you used to be able to get 10th ounce eagles for 12, 13%. Now you can't find them for less than 18 to 20. So the premiums on gold are up. It's just they're not up on the level of silver premiums right now, percentage-wise. But I would say they actually are up.
I think the easiest denomination to find silver is in half dollars.
Oh, yeah. There's no question
yes.
about
that.
Then nickels.
Then nickels,
right.
Then dimes, then quarters.
Quarters.
I still, to this day, I found a live on my live stream in a sealed box. They watched me open it. A silver quarter in a $half roll. Not a quarter in a $half roll, a silver quarter in a $half roll.
Oh, that's classic.
You remember that? It was about a year ago. I know people that watch my stream remember it.
It happened.
But you don't even find silver quarters in boxes of quarters.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Something bizarre had to have happened. Because
I see dimes and quarters and pennies and $half rolls all the time. That's nothing.
Yeah.
But a silver quarter, like, what are the odds?
Think about the odds.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was, the weird thing on one of my recent streams is there was definitely something wrong with the roll crimper, and there was like a few coins that looked like somebody took a chainsaw to them around the edges, and then there was a loose coin in my box, and then 7 of my rolls were short. Something went majorly wrong, and the one time, I guess somebody didn't know how to use the machine. All the $half were rolled backwards. The rolls were inside out, every single one of them.
Oh, snap.
The craziest silver find I've ever found is a 1942, I think it's 10 centavos in a roll of pennies in San Diego.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I opened the roll and I was like, there's no way. And yet pulled it out as a little, and I still have it somewhere. I'll have to do a video on the coin sometime because it was before I had my channel, but I was, of course, coin roll hunting.
I'd like to find like a gold ring or something.
I'm not touching that.
I'm still waiting for the day where somebody in the coin roll hunting community opens a roll of $half and there's a 2014 1 ounce gold Kennedy in there.
That would be crazy.
I'm just waiting for the day that.
He's waiting for the day that hat.
I want to see somebody look at it like it's going to be gold plated, and they crack that, and it's a 1 ounce, 2014.
Rockzilla remembers. He said, "Yeah, I counted that as a 90%er to fill the board." I remember.
I'm gonna have to. First of all, we're gonna have to end the stream. We're past the 1 hour point. We're at hour 5. I do want to thank JD or Treasure Quest for being here very much, brother. I know it was short notice, and when you said you would do it, I was like, "Let's go." So I really appreciate you coming by here.
I appreciate the invite. I really appreciate the invite. Thank you very much for having me on.
Hey, yeah, JD, awesome guest, and I'm guilty of putting Rob on the spot and you on the spot, but I'm glad you said yes because this was really fun.
You're fine. Anytime I was free and I said it was actually sometimes for me short notice is the best. You tell me, well, we'll do it in 2 months on this day. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow half the time.
Hey, Foot asked for a link to JD's channel from a mod. Can we get that done, please? That'd be great. I think it's in the description, but some people it's harder for them to see the description. Like if they're driving a big truck while watching the stream, for example.
A foot for silver. Nice.
Anyway, guys, make sure you go to subscribe to JD, of course. And where are we at next time? Ravens? We're on Ravens, right? In 2 weeks?
I thought it went you or Seek. It goes Rob, you, then me, right?
Oh, so we're on my next.
Yeah, we're on your next, Seeker.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have Backyard Bullion's already said he would be a guest, so
okay, then I know who I'm reaching out to then. Okay.
Right. I think I texted it. But yeah, you know the perfect person. We talked about it before.
Yep.
And that's a good guest.
Okay, cool.
Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. I've got no closing thoughts. I'm starving. I got to eat. I know these boys are ready to get off. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My closing thoughts and my closing statement is thank you so much. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight, and especially JD for joining us. Seeker, any closing remarks?
No, just thank you, JD, dude. Seriously, awesome guest, and I loved listening to you about metal detecting because while I have metal detected for, it's been a very long time, and I would be as novice as anyone who hasn't done it at this point. You know how it is after not doing something for forever. So kind of makes me want to get back into it. So thank you, and thanks for being here, and you rock. And again, guys, don't forget to head over to my channel because in 2 weeks we will be live on my channel. So make sure you don't miss out on that as well.
Raven?
Hey, just again, thanks to JD. Had a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it on Seeker's channel. And also, guys, we have some really cool stuff in the works. That's still a secret, but I think you guys are going to be pretty jazzed.
Yes. Words and stuff.
And thank you to all the mods.
Thanks for having me, and everybody out there, no matter what you're doing, just keep hunting for treasure. It's out there. In the ground and rolls, it's out there. Just keep looking. You will find it. Just don't give up.
I love it. All right, everyone. I'm ending the broadcast now.